Welcome back to What She Said. It is lunchtime. All right, so welcome back to Lunch and Learn. Today, we are going to mix it up and talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Shedeur Sanders have an O line. And what I found out, just taking a glance, not a deep dive, uh, no. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And after studying a little bit, the intro to the Cleveland Browns 2024 O line, uh, you know, it's just going from bad to worse. Ranked number 20 out of 32, or depending on who you ask, 32 out of 32. The Cleveland Browns have an offensive line issue, primarily, some would say, at left tackle, but it is actually across the O line. Now, y'all know the left tackle position is who is played by Big C. He said he likes to actually be the one guarding Shedeur Sanders' blind side. So we definitely don't want Shedeur Sanders out here, being attacked from the left when he's normally protected from the left and has that cushion with Big C. So that seems to be an ongoing issue in Cleveland. And if Cleveland did not feel this well-known issue in the draft, then what is Cleveland doing? And just from a quick study, um, I think I'm starting to understand why Shedeur maybe didn't go number 2 overall to Cleveland. Um, Going number 2, you would think he would be the starter, right? Just like Cam Ward is the starter in Tennessee with the number 1 pick, the number 2 pick to Cleveland, Shedeur would be the starter. And we don't want Shedeur to be the starter behind another weak O-line. Now, some rookies, I already said it, actually, have it pretty tough anyway. Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams in Chicago, CJ Stroud, first year and second year was abysmal. You know, um, Justin Fields when he was in Chicago. So the last thing we want is Shedeur Sanders to have to endure a weak O line. So I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look at Cleveland's overall draft selections. And I thought I heard that they just signed another person, and it was a wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. So if Cleveland has not fulfilled the issue, filled the hole on the O line on the left tackle, which is supposedly glaring, what are we doing out here? Are we not trying to protect our quarterbacks? Then there's other players. There are other players. One has an injury. They said he's older. He has a back injury, and it's starting to show. And I'm like, so my next question is, who did Cleveland get in the draft, and why did they sign Odell Beckham Jr.? Now, I did watch highlights of Cleveland. I watched highlights of Jameis Winston when he was there. I watched highlights of Jerry Jeudy. He's a baller. And they also have a running back who is speedy. But a running back is also said to have been one of their weaknesses, which maybe explains why they got their rookie number 10, Junkins from Ohio State. So I don't know how much the running back can help if the left tackle is a weakness, and if we have a player who has a back injury. That was an issue in Philadelphia during the Super Bowl. Does anybody remember the big guy, maybe number 66? Philadelphia was playing with a back injury, and you could see how he didn't have the strength to protect like someone who is not injured. So, first questions first. Now that we know Cleveland has a poor O line, the left tackle is a problem. That would be Shedeur's blind side. We have players with back injuries. That's going to be a problem. Did Cleveland take care of these issues during the offseason, during the draft? All right, so let's see who's in the chat. Let's jump in here. Y'all, our guy is going from bad to worse on the O-line. I now understand why it is that he did not get pick number 2. I'm going to say that's a God thing. That was a God thing because, no. And I don't get it. If Cleveland did not satisfy their needs at their offensive line, meaning replacing a player with injuries, who has a back injury, who's probably integral to the line, And also on the left side, not having a left tackle. What are we doing? Do you not want to protect your quarterback? Another question is that how Deshaun Watson got injured? Was it a football injury on the field? So y'all let me know. Football injury on the field. Did Cleveland satisfy any of their O-line issues with the draft? And why not if they didn't? All right, let me know what you know about the O-line. We don't want to see Shedeur get sacked like that anymore. I think that's why. I think that's why he's not the starter. And you know what? Okay. That's what Coach Prime's word of the day was that we read, 2 days ago. If God didn't give it to you, there's a reason why he didn't want you with it. And now that we know Cleveland has either the bottom 20 or the number 32 O-line in the league, now we see clarity comes with time. Is that not my motto? Clarity comes with time. Man, we don't want to see this. We can't do it. We can't do it. I don't even want to fathom another weak O-line. So if our guy is not out there, hey, we just gonna have to be happy with some Colorado jerseys. We still getting the number 2. Last night, somebody came in the comments after one of the polls and said, forget the 12 jersey, forget a Cleveland Browns jersey, get the Colorado Buffs number 2. And I said, you know what? I like it. I like it, and that's what I'm rocking. I have on a 21. I think I'm gonna go ahead on and get. I saw advertised Shedeur's jersey from Colorado. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We are I know I can't speak for y'all, but we like-minded. If you get a jersey, I want you to run it up with the Colorado Buffs. They deserve the money anyway. Don't give it to the Browns. Don't give it to the Browns ownership for sure. He already is number 1 in jersey sales. We can check that box off. We know he's a star. Let's move on. Get that 2 jersey from Colorado. Support the Buffs. Get Shedeur Sanders jersey from Colorado, because after y'all spend y'all money on that 12, Cleveland might switch him off to the 2 so y'all can run it up again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get the Colorado jersey for 2. If you see me in Cleveland, it will be with a Colorado Buffs number 2 Sanders jersey on. Our guy should have gotten his jersey number. I'm fine. He didn't worry about it, but that's where we come in. That's where we come in. We get to talk about what they are trying to do to him. He don't have to talk about it. We want him to stay locked in, stay focused like he always has been. We getting that 2 jersey from Colorado. Are we on the same page? We're getting the 2 jersey from Colorado. That's the Sanders jersey you want. If you want to go to the game, cool. They say they don't have fees on their tickets. Cool. Get some tickets to the game and go wear the Sanders jersey. I want to see a bunch of 2s in Cleveland with the Colorado Buffs. Let them know. We want the 2, because I checked this morning. It is an overwhelming majority of the people that want the number 2 jersey with Sanders on it. That's the number that they prefer to wear. He's a star. They retired it in CU. He shouldn't have to start over in Cleveland. Travis Hunter doesn't have to start over in Jacksonville. Cam Ward doesn't have to start over in Tennessee. Shedeur Sanders doesn't have to start over. The fans have the power. We want that 2 jersey. Oh, if we don't get it from Cleveland, we win the one from Colorado anyway. That's what we're doing. Cleveland don't deserve our guy, and they don't deserve our money. So now that we know they have a weak O-line, hey, Bo, too. All right, Bo. So Bo, too, brought this conversation to light. He wanted to talk about the O-line. I told him I looked into it, and it's not good. It's not good. So, Bo, I need you to tell me, have they fixed their issues in the draft? That's what we won't probably do tonight. We're going to do another quarterback profile of another black quarterback, and then we're going to look at who these people drafted in the 2025 draft, who they signed in undrafted free agency, who they have that with the fans, because fans in Cleveland have an opinion already about the O-line before Shedeur. They basically were coming at a podcast by PFF who said that Cleveland had the top 5 O-line. And I was sitting there looking, going, oh, okay. That's good. And of course, you do research. You don't listen to one party. You listen to 3 or 4. So I move on to the next set of data and information. And the comments was chewing that up. No, Cleveland does not have a top 5 O-line. Cleveland is at the bottom. Turns out Number 20. So the fans are right. Cleveland fans know who they are, what they have. So if you listen to anybody, listen to a consensus of Cleveland fans tell you about the O-line, the problem from 2024, and did they try to fix it? So Bo2, that's my question to you. Do you know if Cleveland tried to fix the O-line with the draft selections, undrafted free agency, draft, etc.? Now, here's what's crazy to me. Cleveland took, instead of Shedeur at number 2, they took a defensive tackle, but they have a problem at left tackle. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is what it looks like when you don't want to win. And breaking news, the Saints don't want to win either, because they decided after Derek Carr retired to get a JUCO championship player at quarterback who in 2023, when he was with Iowa State, was caught betting against the team. I thought the quarterback position was the most important position, and that's who you go get. So get this right. The Saints bypassed Shedeur Sanders for the almost worst ranked QB in the draft, 8th ranked QB in the draft with some of the worst stats out here, to be their number 2. And then their number 1, Derek Carr, decides, I'm out. He's going to give back $30 million just to say, peace, I had enough. Cool. And then who did they go get? Who did the Saints go get? They went to get a guy that was betting against Iowa State and faced charges for it. That's what we doing? Oh, that's what we doing. I told y'all the NFL is losing its shine, its sheen. The NFL has maintained that the quarterback is the most important position. And you went and get Tyler Shaw and a dude facing criminal charges for betting against Iowa State, his college football team. That's who you went and get. A JUCO champ. Okay. They will never see a dime of my money. So all my fellow Saints fans, why don't y'all just come over here and watch Colorado with us? You know what? You can wear your jersey because it's black and gold. That's what you can do. You know what? Forget that, bro. I don't even know how long we're going to be keeping this up, because if this is what they doing at the beginning of the off season, it's going to be a hard season for some fans out here, because the NFL is doing their own 2-step from pre-Emancipation Proclamation days. These people out here are trying to do everything they can to make sure that an elite QB1 who is black, that could turn every team around, don't get the opportunity. And you know what? It's okay, because with Cleveland's O-line like it is, leave my guy at 3. Leave him at 3. Leave him at 3. He deserves a break anyway. Leave him at 3. He's still going to be the face of the league. So, it's going to be a long football season, because decisions are not being made to win. They have abandoned winning because they have abandoned talent. And you know what? Y'all got to decide how y'all going to spend y'all money. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it don't matter what my pockets look like. Honestly, it don't matter. I don't like wasting money. And I don't know how the Saints fans going to bring themselves to go to Caesars, which is, I think, where they play, to watch that madness. Tyler Shaw and a JUCO champ who's facing criminal charges for betting against his college football team in Iowa State in 2023. That's what we're doing. I thought the quarterback position was the most important position, and here it is, just full of mediocrity. Just full of mediocrity. The NFL might as well change its name to the National Mediocrity League. That's just call yourself that, NML, National Mediocrity League. Because they're going to go back to the no-fun league real fast with these decisions. And this is what I mean by the Saints need to be forced to sell. When we took our poll, the Saints was the number 2 team. The number 2 team that fans said should be forced to sell and get new ownership. And do you see how they are mismanaging this team? It's not just the Saints. It's also the Pelicans. They got to go. They would rather trash the organization than have 17 of 32 Black starting quarterbacks. Understand, every day it is becoming more and more clear that what I have been saying since day one, this is not about Coach Prime. This is not about a Prime tax. This is not because they are Sanders, because Lamar Jackson is not a Sanders. This is about quarterbacks. This is about the NFL having an issue with Black players being quarterbacks. We have talked about this. It's becoming obvious with the Saints selection at Tyler Shaw, as well as a JUCO champ facing charges for betting against his college team in 2023, which was Iowa State. They would rather have that. That is what they would rather have, which is going to trash the entire brand, than have a star like Shedeur Sanders because he is Black. That is why that lawsuit has legs. So, hey Queen, what's up? Hey Marlon, how you doing? Hey everybody, welcome back. Good afternoon. It said, what is Odell Beckham Jr.? He's coming back. That's what I saw last night. I was like, is this true? I was like, what is going on? In the comments, they were like, Barrett is going to be fired yesterday. I'm like, he might be trying to get fired. He might have a nice golden parachute to get when he get fired like the rest of the executives do. So he's trying to get fired, because if you have a weakness at left tackle and you went out and signed a defensive tackle and gave him Shedeur Sanders QB1 money after you passed on Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, traded away Travis Hunter, got a defensive tackle, and you need a left tackle, so you don't want to protect your quarterbacks. This explains why Cleveland is a revolving door for quarterbacks. This explains why Cleveland has had 40 quarterbacks, 40, take snaps as starter in the last 25 years, since 1999. Every time I say that, I'm starting to hear Prince's song, 1999. That ought to be the theme song for the Cleveland Browns when the players run out the tunnel. These people are not setting these teams up for greatness or success. The players coming into the league want to get to greatness. They want to get to the Super Bowl. They've been thinking this since they could stand up, hold the ball, throw it, and run, and somebody else catch it. These teams are playing in these players' faces. So we're going to take a look tonight. We're going to continue this series, an introspective look. I guess, that would be looking at me, but some type of look. We're going to be looking at Cleveland a little closer. We're going to put the Browns under a microscope. Fans have already said Shedeur is too good for Cleveland. We've already said that. They don't want to start him. Cool. Because you don't have an O-line. And it seems like you went out here and got everything but an offensive tackle. You got everything but a replacement for the player with back injuries. So we already know what we should see. We should see a player who is not 100%, just like the offensive lineman in the Super Bowl. Go watch the highlights. You know exactly who I'm talking about. They said he was playing with injuries. You don't have nobody else on your depth chart. These guys are supposed to protect the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks that they both were protecting is who? We're going to put Cleveland under a microscope tonight. That's what we're going to do. We starting today with this. Does Cleveland have an O-line? Thank you, Bo2. Thank you so much for bringing it up. If y'all just joining us, we still getting the Colorado jersey. We still getting the Colorado jersey. We not worried about the Cleveland jersey because they refuse to do right and give us the 2. So we not giving them our money. We going to keep giving the money to Colorado. Get the Colorado jersey with the 2. That's what you get. That's what we're doing. These guys went out here and drafted a bunch of people, and none of them look like replacements for a left tackle. If anybody know if they got a replacement for a left tackle, let me know who it is so we can see who they are. We are putting Cleveland under a microscope. We will not sit here and allow Cleveland Browns to mismanage Shedeur Sanders, our star quarterback. They have had 40 quarterbacks take snaps. 40 take snaps at starter since 1999. Hey, Kimberly, good afternoon. You made it. Good afternoon. Yes, it says Odell Beckham Jr. is back. Somebody can look it up, but that sounds crazy to me. I was like, he has been everywhere. I was like, he is true NFL journeyman. And people were saying, keep him away from Shedeur. I was like, oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. What are we doing? It If Cleveland keeps Shedeur, they better protect him. If they keep him, trust me, they're gonna put him out there because they know they weak. See, this is how you know they didn't know what to do once they were forced to draft him. So they were forced to draft him. Then what? Now I got to figure out what to do. Oh, we got a weak O-line. So if they suddenly want to keep him because he's a star, he gonna get that blank QB star treatment. We got something to say. So we put Cleveland under a microscope. Hey, who's that? Hey, James, welcome back. Welcome back. Jackie said, hey, fam, how y'all doing? Yes. Back to listen. All right. Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. There are 67 of us. I appreciate it. Turns out there's usually more than that, but that's what I see. 72. All right. Y'all getting in here. All right. So let's everybody be on the same page while everybody gets settled in. Going forward, we are not interested in the Browns jersey. Shedeur Sanders have checked off that box. Let's move it on. Let's get that money back to CU. Hopefully they'll use it to sue the NFL. But trying to take the Colorado recruiting program, because it is not lost on the What She Said podcast community that after Shedeur Sanders got drafted, that he was being held down with their foots, all 32 teams, on his neck, that every other buff went to. So let's get that CU. Let's get that CU number 2. I checked the poll this morning. Nobody wants the 12 from our side. So, that's what we're going to do. If you're going to Cleveland, I want you to wear the Colorado Buffs jersey. All right. The Eagles center, Cam Jurgens, experienced a back injury. That's who it was. Yeah, he was playing with a back injury, and it shows. And my question is, so y'all don't have nobody else to protect your QB while y'all in the Super Bowl? Come on. What we doing? Let's see what other quarterbacks have issues with their O-line. I mean, these patterns are just out here for everybody to see. People choose what they want to see. And I don't even know how Andrew Berry even still have a job to this day. But it could be because he's doing such a horrible job at it. Let's just keep it going. And sometimes that is the case. I hate to say it. That's terrible news. No O-line. Nope, no O-line. Have an issue where, okay, so our big guy, Jordan Seaton, plays on the left. Y'all know Jordan Seaton was the number 1 freshman. He made All-American. He won all kind of awards for being a freshman balling out at CU, protecting Shedeur on the left side. Jordan Seaton has maintained multiple times he takes honor in protecting Shedeur's blind side. So Cleveland don't have anybody to protect the QB blind side before Shedeur Sanders show up. And that's who they was chasing for number 2. I'm glad the hatred won. I hate to say it. See, sometimes, what is it when they say when you reject it, it's also protection. It's also protection. And Coach Prime said it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about them passing over you, skipping over you, because God didn't want you with it. And now we see. Number 20 to number 32 O-line, depending on who you ask, but it's not good. And don't listen to anybody that say top 5. That's why that video only had 1,000 likes in over a year. I think the last 9 months, which is last season. So no, don't listen to that. The fans took care of business in the comments. The first person had called it out. No, this is not true. And everybody says, even to date, as early as May 2nd, that left tackle position is problematic. How did you not fix that in the draft? Because they don't want to protect the quarterback. So nobody should want to go there. Nobody should be fighting to be starter. That means they're going to selectively protect who they want to protect. If I have a player playing with a back injury, his back going to hurt at certain times. That's what we're going to see. Same thing what we saw first year at CU. After they went 3-0, suddenly the O-line couldn't protect. How did we go 3-0? How did Colorado go 3-0 in year 1 of Coach Prime there? Because they had an O-line. This was a selective agreement. I told y'all, they were compromised. They chose to make business decisions for somebody else, but where are they now? They better be on their coaching staff. If not, they're going to be working at Burger King. That's how you have players to make selective decisions. Oh, I'm injured. Where's your depth chart? Where's your number 2 guy who's healthy? Why would you leave and very critical games, players on the line with back injuries or any other kind of injury. But a back injury, when he constantly being pushed, why is it that he has to play? Why wouldn't you put him on IR and let your healthy guy start? Negligence. Negligence. I told y'all the other day, I said, this lawsuit has legs. And Cleveland, somebody need to sue them independently. I'm like, they need to be the only one in the lawsuit. And I said, I'm going to figure out what it is. Negligence. This is negligence. If anybody knows how Deshaun Watson got hurt, let me know. Negligence. 40 QBs taking snaps as starters in 25 years since 1999. And in 2024, they don't have a left tackle. And what did they get in the 2025 draft? Was it a left tackle? No, they gave a defensive tackle QB1 money. That's how you build winning teams. You need an offensive tackle on the left side, but then you give a defensive tackle QB1 money, and you still need a quarterback. So why didn't the Saints just get Kenny Pickett? Why didn't the Saints just get Pickett? Everybody is now coming to the same consensus that actually y'all came to the other day and said Kenny Pickett is the odd man out. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, guess what? Y'all were right. Kenny Pickett might be the odd man out. Why didn't the Saints get him? Why did they get a JUCO champ who is facing criminal charges for betting against Iowa State, his college football team in 2023? Out of all the people in the draft, that's who you gonna get? That's who you get for the most important position in the NFL. See, I told y'all this was gonna happen. I said suddenly the football, the most important position in college, now that 17 of 32 is approaching, and that was Shedeur Sanders. Understand that. It's not gonna be the most important position. And let me tell you how I know it's true. I saw yesterday on somebody's podcast, Travis Hunter was seen on an airplane with an older black lady. So whoever called her old, when I see you, I'm an older, black lady, look like somebody's grandmother. We don't play about our grannies. We don't play about you calling our grannies old. We don't play about that. These people have earned, after dealing with all the BS they didn't have to deal with, they earn respect. So they have her like on a national program this morning, but she didn't know who Travis was. He was just saying, I'm Travis Hunter. In other words, Travis flies, like we say, sometimes under the radar. But we know who Travis is. We know on the field, he's the beast, and when it comes to his personal life, he's just kind of inward. You know what I'm saying? So she was just shocked that, that's who he was, etc. She probably expected him to have a louder personality, but he didn't have it. And the guy said, you know what? I think Travis Hunter should be the face of the NFL. Now, remember, the quarterback was the most important position. And I knew that they was going to do this. I told you when he went number 2, don't think that didn't mean anything. And I'm cool with that. But now with Travis Hunter they want Travis to be the face of the league. Because understand this. This is not about Shedeur's brand. This is about a star like Shedeur getting all of the attention. And they don't want that. They want somebody who they think is quiet, like Travis. Travis is not quiet. Travis is not quiet. We know Travis, right? We know Travis. We know he can turn it on, and we know he can turn it off. And I don't know why they think he don't have a brand, because he has Adidas. And hell, Travis had a lot of brands. He even had the Stanley Cup brand. He got Celsius this. So he's a brand. So I promise you, Travis's brands are not going to be happy with the NFL trying to strip away his brand power so the NFL banner can shine brighter. In other words, he represents us and no one else. Excuse me? No. Y'all need to get over yourselves, because you're not even all that great anyway. You're not even trying to win. And now you want these players who were raised to be confident black men to leave their confidence at the door. So y'all think Travis is not confident? Don't get yourselves played. Travis is a beast on the field. He's confident as a person. He's young. He's 21. Understand that. So when the NFL says it doesn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders, and they're wanting Travis Hunter to be the face of the league, which we have no problem with, because Coach Prime had the number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft. The dynamic duo is in the NFL. And now what? Now you want the face of quarterbacks because you don't want Shedeur to be 17 to 32 black starting quarterbacks. So you went and got yourself a JUCO champ who is facing criminal charges for betting against his college team, Iowa State, in 2023. That's who you want the face of quarterbacks to be. And you think you want Travis Hunter to be the face because you think you know who he is. They can decide who they think they want the face to be. The fans gonna decide. See, they don't consider us when it comes to who the face of anything is going to be. We gonna root for who we think is the best, not the politics that they're trying to play. And they need to get that together. That's why I'm so glad that one fan sent over that lawsuit. And I know there'll be others. I know people are waiting to see what happens with Shedeur in Cleveland. That if they cut him, it's going up. Because it was already predetermined by the NFL when they sent out his phone number to 2,000 people who did not need to know, with an email only with Shedeur's number to 2,000 people who did not need to know, with an email attachment. Y'all know what the email attachment is. They attached a document called the waiver wire transaction. They were sending it around the league, making fun of him. Shedeur Sanders sending us his phone number, but little does he know he's going to get cut. Okay, cut him and see what happens. Do it. I want to see you do it. So, yeah, Cleveland has no O-line. Cleveland has no O-line. Weak O-line is a setup, right? So him going number 2, to be honest, it's okay. One thing about it, Shedeur was already wealthy. So, yeah, he was going to get $70 million, but his life and his health is worth more. When Caleb Williams got sacked 66 times, people were already asking in the comments, how many times Shedeur Sanders going to get sacked? Going to Cleveland was a setup. So, honestly, him not being selected at number 2, good looking out, guy. We appreciate you. So now, since they didn't really care for him, let's see if they start trotting out the dog and pony show where the GM loves Shedeur. Oh, he did. Because they are back there trying to figure out how to spin this into let's keep it. If they did not fulfill the needs in the NFL draft in 2025 for what they knew was the problem 9 months ago in 2024. What are we, 5 months in? So in 2024, with the last 4 months, Q4, you knew you had a problem at left tackle. You knew you had an aging O-lineman with a back injury. And you went and got Odell Beckham Jr.? You didn't get a left tackle? You gave a defensive tackle QB1 money? Okay. So the Saints is just a walking disaster. I mean, I don't know if this is a team or a corporation that can be taken over by a hostile takeover, but somebody needs to do something. Somebody needs to do something because they are setting it up for Tillman Fertitta just to spike it. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, I mean, this is bad. This is bad. You whine and cry about the quarterback position is this, that, and the other. But the moment that black QB1s hit 17 to 32, Shedeur Sanders was going to be 17. Now you know why the media kept making sure he was number 2. Because if Shedeur had gone QB1 in the draft to Tennessee, who would be number 2? Cam Ward. Cam Ward don't have a story like Shedeur. He don't have a pops that they could blame. There's no way he could have pushed him down. So somebody had to get the short straw, and it was Shedeur. He had to be not 16. That is Cam. 16 of 32 black starting QBs. He's 17. And what did we see them do? What did Coach Prime say? Even though he probably wasn't talking about what I was talking about because I don't know him. They switching up. He right. They switching up. What did Stephen A say? Okay, so the NFL is not about talent. The NFL draft is not about drafting talent. They switch it up. And now we see they want a wide receiver to be the face of the NFL rather than the heralded quarterback position. And that could have been Cam Ward. It didn't have to be Shedeur because clearly they drafted him 144. They were trying to push him outside the orbit of possibly being a starter and being seen. They was hoping he didn't be seen, but you can't control that. See, the NFL trying to control what it don't even have the ability to control. Shedeur said it pre-draft. on one of his podcasts, they trying to play God. He's right. That's why he's not bothered. Because he know they're not God, but see, they clearly think they are. So Coach Prime was right. They switching up. Stephen A was absolutely correct, spot on. So the NFL draft is not about drafted talent, which means that the teams are not about winning. They are sullying their own brand to preserve what? What it looked like when 9 decades ago, the NFL had a ban against Black NFL players becoming quarterbacks. So instead of having an advertised ban, they just trying to force them out the way. So they call themselves stopping it. And honestly, they did. Shedeur should have been 17 to 32. And that's why the media kept harping on Shedeur, the second QB in the draft. The media knew exactly what was going on, too. They just didn't talk about it. It was discussed in 2024. In 2025, top QBs in the draft selected will become the majority of starting quarterbacks. And now you know it's not about Coach Prime, Colorado, or anybody else. Because they went and got a JUCO champ who is facing criminal charges for betting against his own college football team, Iowa State, right there in the Big 12, as they replacement behind Tyler Shaw. You can't get no worse than that. You just out here trying to put white faces everywhere. You don't care about winning. You don't care about losing. You trying to make sure that in no way, shape, or form, you not going to have 17 of 32 Black starting quarterbacks sometime during the NFL season. And that's trying to play God. Go look at the depth chart and see who stacked up at QB2s. Somebody going to get hurt. You went out here and got people who not healthy. You went out here and got people who facing criminal charges. You went out here and got people who injury prone. The New Orleans Saints. Somebody gonna get hurt. So you went and got you a JUCO champ to make sure that your QB2 or your QB3 or your QB4 doesn't become number 17 to 32. You trying to have a whiteout. I wonder how the fans feel about that. That's why I don't want him to start. Right, K. Hayes. I told y'all I don't even want Shedeur nowhere near Cleveland. What did I say? I said I don't trust the Cleveland Browns with Shedeur safety, security, or his career. So if I didn't trust him with his safety and security, and I separated career, what else do I not trust him with safety and security about? His person. At all. At all. Any other team could have already probably made a trade for Shedeur. Trades happened on draft night. People said, well, all 32 teams didn't need a quarterback. I'm like, there were at least 13 QBs in the draft, and many of them went to other teams. So whoever signed and drafted Quinn Ewers could have got Shedeur, Miami. Pittsburgh got Will Howard, could have got Shedeur. There are a lot of quarterbacks. Kyle McCord went somewhere. Their quarterbacks' names, I don't even know. They went somewhere. They went to the better teams. So pay attention. Who was at the top? We're going to go to the worst franchises. That's how they assure they keep getting sacked over and over and over. Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Justin Fields. All the white QBs, even though they weren't as talented, it seemed to make sense during the draft. Well, they're not that talented. They ought to be at the bottom. They went to better teams. Quinn Ewers. His people were screaming collusion till he ended up in Miami behind Tua, who is one concussion away from retirement. Better position. So being the best when you Black, it don't always get you what you deserve. So we're going to watch out for our guy. We're going to put Cleveland under a microscope tonight. We're going to look at who they drafted, because what do we know now? We know now that they are a poorly ranked team, and when it comes to offensive line at number 20 or number 32. None of them are good. 20, 21, 31, 32, all bad. They know what their problems are because it's documented. It's documented. 9 months ago, to date, 9 months ago, was somewhere around Q4 of 2024. They knew they needed a left tackle. Did they get one in the draft? If not, why did you get a defensive tackle? Why didn't you get a left tackle? Do you not want to protect your quarterbacks? Is this why you have had, this is why you have had 40 starting quarterbacks or 40 quarterbacks take snaps as starter since 1999? This is why. You're negligent. You're negligent at the QB position. Just like the NFL is discriminatory at the QB position when it comes to black quarterbacks. It just seems that Cleveland is the same, but they negligent when it comes to anybody. Workplace negligence. That's what the Cleveland Browns are. People keep saying, oh, they're bad, they're bad. This is workplace negligence. They are ruining these people's careers. They are getting them hurt. They are ruining their careers. They're not trying to win. They playing in these people's faces. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this. This is not entertaining. And it's not going to be entertaining because they loaded and stacking the deck with mediocrity to have a whiteout because that's what they prefer. It's not about business no more. It's not about competitive sports no more. Stephen A. said it. It's not about drafting talent. It's not about signing talent. It's not about securing talent. It's not even about putting talent on the field. If you know you have a problem at left tackle and you don't address it in the draft, you are not trying to fix your O-line problem. If you know you have an aging O-lineman or an O-lineman with a back injury, regardless of how old he is, you are not trying to fix your O-line problem if you didn't address it in the draft or post-draft with undrafted free agents. You have a depth chart, but you keep putting these people who are not 100% or who are incompetent out here to protect your quarterbacks, which is why you have had 40 quarterbacks take snaps as starters since 1999. That is negligence. That is workplace negligence. That is no different than you working at a factory and somebody get hurt doing one job. And then another person come along, they get hurt. Another person come along, they get hurt. That is workplace negligence. The NFL is not above reproach. They're out here ruining people's careers, allowing people to get hurt, and they're not trying to fix it. There was no justification for taking a defensive tackle at number 2 in the NFL draft, other than he was white. And that's who you want to give the money to. This is no different than the land grab in America when they let certain people go and get the land and held certain people back from getting it. White people and black people. This is no different. This is no different. And we paying for this. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this. This is ridiculous. This is not, oh, they've just been bad because they can't get it right. They don't want to get it right. They are playing with people's lives. Workplace negligence. I told you I was going to figure out what to sue them for. I told you. And there it is. And it's documented. All right. So running backs open up a pass option in the offseason. They signed Judkins from Chicago and Cornelius Lucas from Washington. DeJuan Jones is coming back this year. That's awesome because they had a guy that was super speedy. But that clearly does not change the fact that they have a problem at left tackle. And they have a player on the O-line, 1 who's aging and 2 who has a back problem. So while they fixed maybe the running back issue, maybe, I don't know, because to me, I watched the highlights. The running back was good. This dude was fast. I bet if he ran a 40 in the combine, I bet it was a 4.3 or a 4.4. I bet you it was. This guy was fast. So in my opinion, I don't know. And he seemed to hold on to the ball. Jerry Jeudy looked good. They had other people that were good. I asked, where did Chubb go? Somebody said he retired, or they thought, or maybe, I don't know. But the point is, if you know that the running back is not your only problem, that may have been one of your problems. Maybe it was complicated. But did you address the running back problem? Sound like you got a lot of running backs to me. Sound like you got a lot of running backs. Number 10 for Cleveland, the rookie. Is he a running back? Judkins? Because he didn't look that tall. Somebody let me know who he was. I don't know why I thought he went to Ohio State and played in the Natty. Let me know what position Judkins plays. I think he came from Ohio State. He wears number 10 for Cleveland and rookie minicap. Cleveland Browns linebacker Jeremiah Uno is officially ruled out for the 25 season due to a neck injury. Oh, Lord. Is he an offensive linebacker or defensive linebacker? Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Shedeur Showreel. That's funny. I like your handle. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. That is so cute. I wonder if Gabriel heard that coach said he taller than him. Funny. Hey. Hey, anybody but our guy. That's all I'm going to say. Sometimes rejection is protection. Matter of fact, a lot of times rejection is protection. Matter of fact, anytime you are rejected, you better thank the lucky stars you are being protected from something you don't even know about. And then when you get clarity, because time brings clarity, then you can say, Lord, thank you. Because I'm sorry, I think we have clarity. So James is telling us that they have a running back. I didn't see a running back problem. I know they had one, but I don't know what it was. But I know they have running backs. Let's see. That is funny. Okay, Marlon, that is so funny. Kenny Pickett is not very good. They said Shedeur and Gabriel are better than Flacco and Kenny Pickett. They say Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel should be starting over the other two. That's not even out here practicing yet. They might be out here practicing now, I guess. It said, and the Saints head coach was the QB coach in Philly when Pickett was there. Why they didn't get him? Why they didn't get Pickett? You see, they blocking. But you know what? Keep blocking. Keep blocking. Keep blocking. I hope Shedeur know all of this, and I'm sure he does. Bro, don't worry about nothing. Enjoy your time in Cleveland. Eat you some good food. Meet you some good people. When you go out there, Shedeur, when you go out there every day, I know, you play for yourself to be the best. And you're not trying to prove nothing to nobody. I want you to consider this an audition tape. Every time you take a snap, you are auditioning for your next job. That's all I'm going to say. And if it's in the CFL, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because we want to see you ball out. We don't want to see you buried on the back of the depth chart because these people trying to create a whiteout. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. And we definitely don't want you buried on the back of the depth chart because you got to be protected from a weak O-line that wasn't addressed in the NFL draft. And they knew 9 months ago, somewhere around Q4 in 2024, that they needed a left tackle, and they have a player who has a back injury on the line. That's the makings of a setup. No, sir. No, sir. Kenny Pickett did nothing in Pittsburgh. Right. And he got him a Super Bowl ring. I know he was mad when they moved him. And when I heard they would, that was like in March when Cleveland signed him, I said to myself, now why are they moving Kenny Pickett? Why are they moving Kenny Pickett? I was just really wondering. Thank you for that. Comptonography. Thank you for that. It says, and the Saints head coach, was the QB coach. That was Kay Hayes. Kay Hayes said, and the Saints head coach was the QB coach in Philly when Pickett was there. And now why he didn't get him? Because he know. He probably already know. He know exactly who it is. And that should tell you that Cleveland should have never made that move. They doing too much. And they doing too much, and it has nothing to do with football. This is about a whiteout. Understand that when it comes to the QB position, and if they can't get it done with a whiteout at QB1, what they're going to do is shift the position by saying, we want Travis Hunter to be the face of the league. We good with that. That's our guy. We good with that. That's our guy. But understand, it's a switch up. And they desperate to create a whiteout at QB position and definitely QB1 and seeming QB2, because how do you go get a JUCO champ? How do you go get a JUCO champ that when he got to the Big 12, played for Iowa State, he's facing criminal charges for betting against his own college team? I don't even know how many players who do such get chances like that, especially at QB. Especially at QB. So, you know, so thank you for that, Kay Hayes. Thank you so much. Jackie Chu, Jordan Seaton might have some help this season with Royal, who committed last week. Well, what about Xavier Hill? He looks like a good pickup. Let me know what you think about that, Jackie. He looks like Xavier Hill looks like a good pickup. I think he actually got a scholarship too. He played for Memphis. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There are, oh, it's lunchtime and there are 82. Is that 82? Yeah, there are 82 of us. 82 of us. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're close. 60 likes. Get the likes up, 12 more. I just need 12 more. Take a minute. Hit the like button. Okay. Jay said, I put my girl on to you, your boy from St. Louis. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Political Lil. All right, so what do we see here? Travis got a brother who can ball out. He does. I watched him play on Cam Newton's 7-on-7. And I don't know if y'all heard me last night. Coach Prime has a 7-on-7 primetime 7-on-7 classic coming up in June in Boulder. It's going to be good. So we need to try to see how we can tap into that. You know, either you can be in Boulder if you have the ability, if you're close by, if you have PTO, whatever you want to call it, if you haven't burned up your PTO for vacation. If it's not I don't think it's a 3-day or 4-day weekend. So what we want to do is see who can be on the ground. And if we can't be on the ground, maybe find out who's going to stream it. We know they're going to be coverage. So to me, Coach Prime Time 7-on-7 Classic. I actually wanted his league to be called Primetime Pro Football League. To me, this is the first step. This is the first step. If the attendance is above and beyond, it confirms what we already know. The prime effect can make a pro league successful, especially with the shenanigans we seeing in the NML, the National Mediocrity League. I mean, come on now. These guys are too talented for this. That's a waste of their time. Thank you, Jay. The power of social media. They can't control every narrative. Right. Kay Hayes, thank you. Thank you. And to me, that's what Mel Kiper Jr. was saying. The things that they're trying to control. And what do people teach you? Control what you can control. You cannot control that Shedeur Sanders is hella popular and has brands. That's why he has so many brands. You can't be mad that he has his own brand. They're being taught in college, build your brand. There are athletes who are in high school that have already been given looks, whose parents have created parent-managed social media, posting all their highlights because they know that their child has the potential when they get on the other side of their high school career to get what? Offers. So why is the NFL, who I feel like is stuck in Candyland, trying to get these kids to leave their brands at the doorstep? If you want to play for the NFL, you can't be a brand. Travis Hunter is a brand, and now they want him to be the face of the league. Travis Hunter is a brand. Shedeur and Travis Hunter have the same thing. Social media teams, overtime contracts to film and share their content with their followers. They have the same thing. One has Nike, one has Adidas. Travis Hunter has the Travis Hunter brand. Shedeur has the Legendary brand. They have the same thing. It's the same thing. So in my opinion, that's a lie. Because you're going to turn off these multimillionaires who were preparing to come out of college next year, and you're making it good for the universities, because the universities are like, cool, get that roster money up, $54 million at the highest, and 40 is coming in at the average, meaning several universities have $40 million rosters. If I'm a QB in college and I can win, that's my ceiling. I'm gonna take that $4 million that they're gonna give me for my junior and my senior year. That is $8 million. And NFL can play around if it want to. Somebody gonna start another league. The NFL is stuck in Candyland. It is. And you can see it with the moves that they're continuing to make. And I told y'all there are problematic teams out here who need new ownership. Just like the Washington Commanders. It worked for them. New ownership worked for them. The Saints need to be forced to sell. What they're doing is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And they don't just have the Saints. They have the Pelicans too. And that's not any better. The Saints are embarrassing. The Giants are embarrassing. The Browns are embarrassing. People are not saying Tennessee's embarrassing yet. Let's see what they do with Cam Ward. Cam is out there balling out, throwing dimes, doing his touchdown silly. And they seem to be good with it. But we going to see. It's too early to tell. That's why you can't call it right now. It's too early to tell. Cleveland is a mess. And kudos if they got another running back. But if you don't have an O-line, we learned that at Colorado. Colorado had several running backs. Several. We saw Micah get through, but we still saw a problem with the O-line. Did we not? We saw Agustave. We didn't want to lose Agustave. Why do y'all think they poached Agustave? Because he was good for CU. If they thought Agustave was that good, they would have got him before he went to CU. It's because he was good at CU. And that still didn't keep Shedeur from getting sacked. So while the Browns' issues are layered, they're also simple. You need to protect your quarterback first. It's okay if you get a running back. You can do two things at the same time. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. But if you're not protecting your quarterback, you are telling everybody you do not want to win. You can go out here and placate and get a running back and look like you're doing something. But when you pick a defensive tackle with QB1 money and you still need a QB, it's embarrassing that you even having QB conversations. When Shedeur Sanders should have been a lock. But hey, now that I know you don't have an O-line, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I hope he is too. I wouldn't even worry about it. We want to see him, but I think now that we know y'all don't have an O-line and you're not trying to fix your O-line issues, we're not going to push for him to start because y'all going to set him up. We don't want him to be Bryce Young. We don't want him to be Caleb Williams. He had enough of that at CU. Control what you can control. Workplace negligence. So, yeah, the power of social media, and don't get me wrong, the media that is a right arm to the NFL is trying really hard, and they're failing. They are failing. If they're not telling the truth, they getting chewed up. They are getting chewed up. People are hitting the thumbs down. Hey, so, you can't lie to millions of people and tell us what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. I was happy that Stephen A. called it out. Collusion in the NFL draft was not about talent. It said these dudes are weird. What? Shedeur is the truth. Now, yes. And you know what? That's not even a question. Yes, Shedeur is the truth. That's not even a question, right? Discrimination against Black QBs. That is correct, Political Lil. That is exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And the Saints moves tell you that they are trying to do everything possible to create a whiteout in New Orleans. It's not about talent. It's not about talent. They are trying to create a whiteout. And I feel like Cleveland was trying to go down that path with, I don't know who they thought Dylan Gabriel was. I really don't. That's what people are talking about in the comments. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. Now, Dylan Gabriel was on the Heisman stage. Now, I get it. He has a height issue. I don't know if that's why they had him down in the draft. But I know that that's who they wanted to be. And maybe they feel like he could contribute to the whiteout. Maybe they look at skin tone. They don't look at who you really are, and that could be their problem. But it's still discrimination. This is so obvious. Yep, it is very obvious, which means they believe they're above reproach. And fans, this is where fans gonna have to make a difference this year. Fans gonna have to send a message. Fans gonna have to send a message. The NFL reminds me of the movie Trading Places. Eddie Murphy, right? Okay, K Hayes. A whiteout. Yeah, that's essentially what they're trying to create. Because Shedeur would have been 17 of 32. So going forward, if you hear somebody say a prime tax, Lamar Jackson didn't pay a prime tax. He didn't. Neither did Jalen Hurts. Neither did Deshaun Watson. Neither did Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Justin Fields. I can keep on. Geno Smith, Russell Wilson. So join us tonight. We have another quarterback we will profile. I was given a list. We started with Doug Williams, and I asked the question. There's a video. Go watch it. It's a live stream. Just put it on, let it play. Soak up the knowledge about Doug Williams being the first black quarterback. I think he came out of Grambling. He went in the first round. First black quarterback to go in the first round. He went number 17, and he was signed by Tampa Bay. My question was, is Shedeur Sanders' journey to the NFL similar to Doug Williams? And the answer was yes. Go check it out. Yesterday, we profiled Warren Moon. Fans suggested, and these are all what she said, supporter fans suggested, supporter suggested QB. So Warren Moon was the second one that we profiled. And again, Warren Moon's journey, meaning he had to go to the NFL, in the Canadian Football League first. Why? Because he was a star in college. No question about it. Just like Doug Williams. No question about it. Both stars. And maybe Warren Moon saw what Doug Williams went through, because Doug Williams was before Warren Moon. So Warren Moon decided to go to Canada rather than be pushed down in the draft. I pointed out that is what they do to black quarterbacks. They devalue them by pushing them down in the draft, negating their money. Negating their money. So, and I'm talking about elite talent, because they're going to be people out there, oh, that were white quarterbacks pushed down in the draft. They were never elite. They were never top draft picks. We are talking about people like Shedeur Sanders, people like Lamar Jackson, people like Geno Smith, people who were bona fide stars like Warren Moon, like Doug Williams, who were elite. And they treated them like they weren't intentionally, because they were black. And they were going to be quarterbacks. And the NFL have a ugly history with black quarterbacks. And it is repeating that history with Shedeur Sanders. It repeated it when it tried to force Lamar Jackson to wide receiver, and with him being a Heisman winner, forcing him down to number 32 because he didn't want to switch to wide receiver. Doug Williams had to go through that. Warren Moon documented they tried to switch him to wide receiver. They said they didn't choose Warren Moon, even though he was one of the best in college football, because black players as quarterbacks, the NFL believes at 1978 lacks the intellectual capacity to lead a football team. Lamar Jackson faced this when he was drafted in, I think, 2018. The NFL was found guilty of this. They decided to settle $1 billion settlement. $1 billion is not any type of money to sneeze at. So it was serious. It was serious if they had to settle $1 billion settlement after Lamar Jackson was drafted. This was 2021. This was even after Jalen Hurts. They pushed him down to number 53. Jalen Hurts was elite. Remember, he won what? Where? Okay. And then he bounced and went to Oklahoma, and they act like they was upset that he made a choice for himself to go to, I think, was it Lincoln Riley's air raid offense rather than Nick Saban, who wanted to run the ball more? So every day we are profiling because there are a lot of black quarterbacks to profile who have faced similar discrimination as a black quarterback in the NFL. And as late as 2021, the NFL settled $1 billion with a capital B. That is shocking for violating civil rights of black NFL players with policies and practices, which means they were carrying out these practices that they had policies for that said black NFL players have a lower cognitive functioning than whites. Race norming by saying there's a difference in brain functionality between blacks and whites. There's a difference between blacks and whites. This is what the NFL asserted in 2021. And they say, okay, we're going to stop. They haven't stopped. That's why any lawsuit that pop up needs to be over $1 billion for capital B, because if you had to pay that settlement in 2021, and you're still fighting about it in 2024, by the way, and you were using this, there's a difference in the races when it comes to cognitive ability, which means blacks are inferior. If you had to settle that in 2021 and you treat Shedeur Sanders this way, you don't fear any consequence, but you are not above reproach. And y'all are not God. So the fans don't need to be the ones to hold the NFL accountable. In some way, shape, or form, we'll talk about it. But for now, we're going to get out of here because this was awesome. Thank y'all for joining for lunch. Let's see. Thank y'all for getting the likes up. I appreciate it. We'll be back tonight at 9:30 p.m. We're going to take a deeper dive, and we're going to put the Cleveland Browns under the microscope. At lunch today, we talked about the Cleveland Browns had a poor O-line. Number 20 out of 32, and some people say they actually were number 32. Depends on who you ask. So now that we know that they have a terrible O-line, we don't want our guy starting for them. We happy that they rejected him at number 2. So we want him to be protected. So we're going to do as much as we can to figure out who did the Cleveland Browns draft or sign during the NFL draft process that would satisfy, or I guess you could say, fix the issues that they have at left tackle to replace the player with the back issue also on the offensive line. So we're going to look at that tonight. Who did the Cleveland Browns draft in 2025? All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all later. We're going to get out of here. This was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like this quote. Who just said this? Essence Frazier. It said, merit is by private interpretation. True merit is by public demonstration. I like it. Absolutely. I'm going to pin this at the top. That's it. And I heard somebody say the NFL is a meritocracy. I almost spit out my water. The NFL is in whiteout mode. Understand that. And they feel like because of the political climate that we live in the country that they could get away with it. But they've been doing it. They just being bold. And I told y'all what happened with Shedeur Sanders, the discrimination against Shedeur Sanders was not new in the NFL draft. It was extreme. And they lured up 7.3 million people to watch. This is not Candyland. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thanks for watching What She Said, Lunch and Stream. All right, Political Lil, I just handed you a baton. Thank you so much for being consistent and showing up so you can contribute to protecting the conversation in the chat. with the rest of the moderators. Thank you so much, Gracie, Tommy, Regina, and Political Lil. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See y'all tonight.